Order Crocodilia belongs to the class Reptilia and subclass Archosuria. This subclass Archosuria is the old Diapsida under the earlier classification. The crocodiles are the largest living reptiles, and the members of order Crocodilia include the crocodiles, alligators, gavials, and caimans. They have got a lizard-like body, and this body is covered by an osteodermal armor. So this is there is a covering around the body of crocodilians, which is bony, and this is called as the osteodermal armor, and it is made up of epidermal scales and bony scutes. Scutes are external plates or scales which are overlaid with horn or keratin, and they are usually seen on the shell of turtles, the skin of crocodilians, and the feet of birds. So it is enriched with keratin. It is enriched with a protein which is called as keratin, which makes it waterproof and horny. So such a plate is called as a scute, and these epidermal scales, they are also overlaid with the bony plates called as the scutes. So it is a covering around the body which will prevent evaporative water loss. It is an adaptation for a terrestrial mode of life. And in the trunk of crocodiles, in the trunk region of crocodiles, we can see that the plates are arranged as transverse rows. So these are the transverse rows of plates which are seen on the trunk of crocodiles, and in the tail region they will appear as rings. So on the trunk they appear in transverse rows, whereas on the tail region they will appear as rings. And coming to their distribution, the crocodiles are distributed in Asia, Africa, Australia, and America. And of all the living crocodiles, Crocodylus porosus is considered to be the largest one. And the Indian species of crocodiles are Crocodylus porosus, Crocodylus palustris, and Crocodylus siamensis. Now the alligators are mostly found in China and North America, and the one which is found in China are Alligator chinensis, and those found in North America are Alligator mississippians. The gavials are found only in Asia, and the only living species is Gavialis gangeticus, which is found in North Indian river basins. Then caimans are usually found in South America, and the most important species is Melanosuchus niger, which is the largest of all caimans. So these are the four groups of organisms which are coming under, groups of reptiles which are coming under the order Crocodilia. The crocodiles, alligators, gavials, and caimans. We can see the differences between crocodiles and alligators. That is, in alligators, the snouts of alligators are wider and they are U-shaped, as you can see here. So this is the snout of an alligator, which is U-shaped, more or less U-shaped, and it is wider compared to that of a crocodile, which is more pointed and V-shaped. So that is the first difference. They differ in the snouts. So alligators have a broader U-shaped snout, whereas crocodiles are having pointed and V-shaped snouts. Now coming to the toothy grin of crocodiles. When the crocodiles, even if their mouth is shut, the snout is shut, the fourth tooth on each side of the lower jaw, it is seen stuck up over the upper lip. So it is visible even if the mouth is closed. The fourth tooth on the lower jaw is visible even if the mouth is shut. Whereas in the case of alligators, the upper jaw is wider than the lower one. So when they close their mouths, all the teeth are hidden. No teeth will be seen outside. Now coming to the habitat, the crocodiles are mostly seen in saltwater habitats, whereas the alligators hang out in freshwater marshes and lakes. So these are the three differences between crocodiles and alligators. That is, the difference in the shape of their snout, their toothy grin, and the home base of crocodiles and alligators make them different. Otherwise, there are many characteristics in which they are similar to each other. So these are the gavials, and these are the caimans. This is the gavial which is found in India, that is Gavialis gangeticus. Now the important characteristics of crocodiles are, they possess a diapsid skull with two temporal fossae. The jaws are elongated with a wide oral gape. The eyes are guarded by upper and lower eyelids, and it is also having a third membrane which is called as the nictitating membrane, which is protective. Another feature which is seen in crocodiles is the presence of a buccal roof, which is also called a secondary palate. It separates the buccal cavity from the nasal cavity. So we will go to the secondary palate. Vertebrates usually have a floor on the skull. They have got a floor on the cranial region which is called as the primary palate. In addition to these, there is a secondary palate in certain vertebrates, that is the mammals and the crocodiles. They possess a secondary palate. So this is the primary palate, and here also we can see the primary palate, and this is the secondary palate which will separate the nasal cavity from the buccal cavity. This feature is found in mammals, crocodiles, etc. So that is an advanced condition when you compare crocodiles with other groups of reptiles, the presence of a secondary palate. Then the orthostylic jaw suspension, which is characteristic of other reptiles also, where the palatoquadrate is completely fused with the cranium with no involvement of the hyomandibular in jaw suspension. That is why it is called as orthostylic jaw suspension. Then, just as in chelonians, their jaws are immovable. That is, the upper jaw is immovably articulated with the skull, and such a type of upper jaw, it is called as monostylic quadrate. It is an immovable upper jaw, just as it is seen in chelonians. The chelonians were found to lack teeth, for which reason the jaws are ridged in them because of the lack of teeth. Whereas in crocodiles there are teeth present, and the teeth are sharp and strong. And another feature which the crocodiles possess is thecodont dentition compared to the other reptiles. In those reptiles who are having teeth, the teeth may be either acrodont or pleurodont. Whereas in crocodiles, the teeth are thecodont, which is considered to be an advanced condition. This condition is also seen in mammals. That is, the teeth are placed in sockets of the jawbone. That condition is called as thecodont condition, which is also characteristic of crocodiles and mammals. Now, the crocodiles possess a tongue which is not protrusible, whereas in other lizards and snakes we can see that the tongue is protrusible. It can be protruded out. Whereas here it is a non-protrusible tongue, but the peculiarity is that the tongue contains salt glands. They are also called as the lingual salt secreting glands, and what do they help in? They help in elimination of excess salts from the body fluids, and that is seen usually in brackish water and marine forms. So this is an example for ionic regulation, whereas such types of glands are found in chelonians as modified tear glands, whereas in crocodiles they are found as modified lingual glands which are present on the tongue. So that is the difference between chelonians and crocodiles. Though both of them possess the chelonians, that is the turtles and crocodiles, though both of them possess salt secreting glands, in chelonians they are present as lacrimal glands or tear glands, whereas in crocodiles they are present as lingual glands. But these lingual glands are absent in alligators and gavials because they are freshwater forms. Now coming to the tail of a crocodile, which is very massive. It is laterally compressed, and it is very powerful and used for offense, defense, and also for swimming. So it's a very tail is considered to be a powerful part of crocodile's body, by which it is attacking the prey, attacking their prey, and it is also defending itself. And it also helps in swimming, and it is laterally compressed, unlike the dorsoventrally flattened trunk. The trunk is dorsoventrally flattened, but the tail is laterally compressed. Now coming to the features of the vertebral column, the first vertebra is the atlas, and in front of the atlas there is a median bone which is called as the proatlas. So that is a characteristic feature of crocodiles, that is the presence of another median bone called as proatlas in front of the atlas. That is not seen in other reptiles. Now another feature is that the caudal vertebrae, these are the caudal vertebrae, they possess V-shaped bones which are called as chevron bones. That is one peculiarity of crocodile vertebrae, presence of chevron bones arising from the lower vertebrae, and they are absent in the first and few last caudal vertebrae, whereas all the other caudal vertebrae possess such chevron bones. Now the crocodilian rib. This is the rib of a crocodile, where you can see there are two heads, that is capitulum, the dorsal capitulum, and a ventral tuberculum. So these are the two ribs in two heads of the ribs in crocodiles. That is why the ribs are bicephalic or double headed, which have two heads, that is capitulum, this is the capitulum, and this is the tuberculum. Whereas in lizards, we can see that the ribs are mono-headed or single-headed. With only capitulum, there is no tuberculum. And coming to the ribs in crocodiles, here you can see the ribs in the thoracic region. They bear backward processes which are cartilaginous, and these backward processes are called as uncinate processes. Those marked in red are the uncinate processes in crocodiles. These are also characteristic of crocodilians. Now coming to the digits present in the forelimbs and hind limbs are clawed as well as they are webbed. Webbed digits, they serve as an adaptation to swim in water. Salivary glands are absent in crocodiles. Now there is one more feature, that is, the crocodiles can breathe even when the mouth is full of food. So how is this possible? There is a mechanism by which the buccal cavity can be shut down from the pharynx and the respiratory passage. So how this is made possible? In their tongue, there is a vertical process arising from the root of the tongue. So from the root of the tongue, a vertical process is arising. From their palate, that is the buccal roof, the roof of the buccal cavity, a ridge is projecting downward. So from the tongue, a root is projecting upward, and from the roof of the buccal cavity, a ridge is projecting downward. So one downward projection from the oral cavity roof and an upward root from the posterior part of the tongue. They can be closely opposed to each other. So when they are closely opposed to each other, the buccal cavity is cut off from the pharynx and the respiratory passage. So respiration can continue even when the mouth is full of food. So this is also a characteristic feature seen in crocodilians. Now, another important advanced feature is that in other reptiles, there is no separation between the thoracic cavity and the abdominal cavity. Whereas in crocodiles, the anterior part of the body cavity, that is the thoracic cavity which contains the lung, the heart, etc., is separated from the posterior part of the body cavity by a septum, an oblique septum which is similar to the diaphragm in mammals. So that is also considered to be an advanced feature. So this helps in increasing the efficiency of ventilation in the lungs. Ventilation is the inflow and outflow of air into and out of the lungs. So this is made more easy because of the separation of the anterior part of the body cavity from the posterior part. So this helps in efficient filling and emptying of lungs. And this oblique septum, it is very similar to the diaphragm seen in mammals, and here you can see this is the diaphragm like structure which is seen in crocodiles, which separates the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. So that is also considered to be an advanced feature. Now, unlike other reptiles, the crocodiles are having a completely four-chambered heart. So this is also considered to be an advanced feature which enables complete double circulation. That is, there is separate circulation between the heart and the lung and between heart and tissues, and there is no point where mixing takes place. So the circulation is considered to be complete and double. There is one more feature which is called as the foramen of Panizza. It is found in the heart of crocodiles. That is, there are two systemics arising from the ventricle, the right systemic and the left systemic, and we know that in reptiles they cross with each other. As they emerge out from the heart, they will cross with each other. At the crossing point, there is an opening which connects them. That opening is called as a foramen of Panizza. So here you can see the right and left systemics, they cross with each other and they are connected by a foramen which is called as the foramen of Panizza, which will help in mixing of blood. Then the brain of crocodiles is well developed with a prominent cerebrum and cerebellum. The eyes possess Harderian glands which help in keeping the eyelids moist, the lacrimal glands which help in keeping the eyeball moist, and the pectin which helps in nourishing the choroid cord, and the retina which helps in nourishing the retina and the choroid. Then the kidneys are metanephric, just like other reptiles. The urinary bladder is absent. Unlike other reptiles, there is no urinary bladder. The cloacal opening is a longitudinal slit. Just like in chelonians, here the cloacal opening is considered to be a longitudinal slit. So here you can see the slit is longitudinal in crocodiles. This is the same condition as we see in chelonians, whereas in some other reptiles the longitudinal, the slit is, the cloacal slit is transverse, whereas in crocodiles and chelonians the slit is longitudinal. Now coming to the copulatory organ. In male, there is a large erectile and grooved penis which helps in sperm transfer. Where in chelonians also we can see that the copulatory organ is unpaired. So here also there is an unpaired large erectile penis which is present in males, which help in sperm transfer into the body of the female. The females possess skin glands, which are the scent glands. They help in attraction of the males during breeding season. Other skin glands are absent. They are oviparous, that is, the females lay eggs and the young ones hatch out from the eggs. Fertilization is internal, which is a feature that helps in terrestrial mode of life. That is, the sperms are transferred into the body of the female and the fertilization takes place inside the female body. The eggs are cleidoic, they are shelled, they are white in color. Now coming to the breeding behaviors. The alligators and crocodiles are nest building forms. They build nests with the help of weeds, grasses, etc. Development takes around 60 to 100 days depending upon the species. Just like chelonians, the young ones possess an egg tooth which helps in breaking open the shell during hatching. So that is present on the top of the snout. So it is called as caruncle, just as we can see in the chelonians also. So the young ones come out of the eggs by breaking open the shell with their caruncle or egg tooth. Just like in chelonians, the sex determination is temperature dependent. But it is quite different in crocodiles compared to the alligators and caimans. So we can see how the temperature influences sex. In alligators and caimans, from a batch of eggs, if the eggs are reared at a temperature between 31 to 32 degrees Celsius, some of the eggs will develop into males and the others will develop into females. Whereas if the temperature is below 31 degrees Celsius, all the eggs of that batch will develop into females. If the temperature is above 32 degrees Celsius, if it is above 32 degrees Celsius, if the temperature is greater than 32 degrees Celsius, all the eggs of that clutch develop into males. So between 31 and 32, the eggs will develop into both sexes. Below 31 degrees Celsius, the eggs will develop into females, and above 32 degrees Celsius, the eggs will develop into males. All the eggs will develop into males. In crocodiles, between 31 to 33 degrees Celsius, the clutch will give rise to both males and females. If the temperature is below 31 degrees Celsius, the eggs will develop only into females. If it is above 30 to 33 degrees Celsius also, most of the young ones will be females. So low temperature as well as high temperature favors female directed development. Between 31 and 33 degrees Celsius, both males and females can develop. So in different groups, the temperature influence is different. So these are the characteristic features of reptiles.